Thank you very much. And Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the hearing record a statement from the National Treasury Employers Union in support of paid parental leave legislation for federal workers, and I add my voice in support of this and other legislation to establish robust and common sense paid leave policies for all workers, public and private sector.
Hearing no objection, it'll be entered.
Thank you. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics said, as Mr. Norcross also said, 32% of private sector's employees cannot earn a single day. 32%. So as we're talking about all this, we know that 1 in 3 Americans cannot earn a single day. This is particularly important to me right now because my daughter had a preemie baby, and because of her good company and because of her husband's good company, they were able to be at the hospital and be there together, and what a difference that made. And so as I think about all those people that we're talking about, 1/3 of Americans can't have a single day off. This is what we should be focused on, and yet I have not heard the panel express, for the most part, the recognition that we're not doing right by the workers of this country. And I hope that we'll hear more advocacy about this. So I would like to ask each one of you to just say yes or no, please, about the Healthy Families Act, H.R. 1516. Representative Rosa DeLauro is sitting here. And thank you for this bill. This bill requires employers who employ at least 15 employees to provide employees with up to 7 paid sick days, which can also be used to take time off to address domestic violence. Employees would earn 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours. So they would just get 1 hour of sick time, up to 7 paid sick days. Do you support that, and does your organization support that?
SHRM does not support that.
Thank you. How about you, Ms. Brickmeyer?
I would have to say we have no opinion on the bill at this time.
That's interesting, and
Strongly support that. Thank you.
thank you.
No, we do not support that.
Okay, so when we're talking about all of these people who don't have coverage, 3 out of 4 of you said that you don't support just 7 sick paid days. May I ask each one of you if you have 7 sick paid days or more? Please, yes or no?
We don't have sick time. We had a general paid time off bank.
But more than 7 days?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
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 Isn't that wonderful? I'm so glad that you do. And you know what? Everybody sitting here has time off too. Isn't that great? How are we leaving 1/3 of American workers and their families behind? So I ask each one of you there sitting to think about what you just said, that you have it, and yet you're comfortable sitting here saying, no, we don't support that. Ms. Brickmeyer, I was impressed by your testimony because you were talking about how difficult it is for IBM to comply with all of these regulations right now. And I'm going to quote, "An overwhelming challenge has resulted from the burden created by myriad inconsistencies in the various state and local laws, the speed at which new laws and amendments arise, and the sheer number and range of requirements applicable to IBM's operations around the country." And of course, IBM is a massive company that's able to do work around the world, so I'm sorry it seems like such a burden. But here's the thing that I find interesting. Let me be very specific. This is you again. In the area of paid sick leave, by my last count, there were 6 states, that's 6 out of 50, 2 counties, and roughly 29 local ordinances covering paid sick leave. Is that really that overwhelming for IBM, a big company, to work with just 6 states, 2 counties, and roughly 29 local ordinances that cover paid sick leave? Is that really a problem?
Well, it did take us 9 months to figure out, and the executive order as well, to figure out the jurisdictions, who was eligible, what the rules were, and then compare and contrast them.
Okay.
So it's not just what you said, it's all the combination and permutations.
All right, thank you, but it still seems amazing to me. And Ms. Lucas, you said 99% of businesses with more than 50 workers offer some form of paid time off. Are you aware, and this is Treasury Department, that 96% of employers have fewer than 50 workers?
Yeah, absolutely, and those workers and those companies have a very different situation and costs that they have to consider and make budgets.
Right, so we're still leaving more workers behind. The suggestion by the numbers sounds like they're covered, but we're leaving them behind. And my final point, because we're running out of time here, is that you said we should enable workers to save tax-free for time off, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know that what the minimum wage is in this country?
Yes, but that doesn't, I mean.
So how, if you're supporting that, because I know a lot of people in my district, in my community, who work 2 jobs just to feed their children and get a little roof over their heads, they don't have any money to save to put into the tax-free account for time off. So do you still think that's a solution?
I think it's the start of a solution. It's very hard to find jobs for and to find a way to get low-income workers, the minimum wage workers, paid time off without displacing them from their jobs, because I worry very much about them losing their jobs, not just about the benefits that they have as a part of those jobs.
Let's say that they're fortunate enough to earn $10 an hour. Okay, it's $400 a week, and that's $1,600 a month, and they have to pay taxes out of that. $1,600 a month. Rent where I am is about $1,000. You have a couple of kids, that's it. So even though that sounds good, I'm just imploring you to look at that again and recognize that that is not real. That is not possible.
Thank the gentlelady.
Thank you
Time has
very much.
expired.
I yield back. Thank you.